This is the most ridiculous part of your entire video, and I'm going to give you a little personal story. I was raised by a drug addict.
You've probably seen the videos of this young lady calling churches with the experiment that she's a mom who's struggling and she just needs one can of formula. Would you give me a $20 can of formula?
Yep, and we've also seen a lot of church response to her social experiment, and I want to say, Pastor, I think yours has been by far the worst response that I have seen.
And so I wanted to give some additional thought to this, kind of to round out the discussion from the perspective of the church.
And before we go any further, I know that this pastor probably in his mind thought that he was really doing something with this video by coming to us from the church's perspective, but just watch.
Firstly, churches, pastors, and church elders recognize that we are stewards of the money that's been given to the church. And so we want to make sure that we use the money in a manner that gets the most benefit and helps people that are really in need.
I cannot think of a more dire need than if you had a real telephone call from a mother who needed formula, who was asking for formula, not asking for cash, asking for formula because her baby has not eaten in 24 hours. I don't know of a more dire need than that.
You don't know them, you don't know their background, you don't know whether they're being truthful or dishonest.
I don't care. If they're asking me for a can of formula, what is the worst thing that's going to happen if I meet them in town or if I go pick up a can of formula and I somehow get that to them? Literally a can of formula that she was asking for. What's the worst thing that's going to happen?
So I want to be respectful of the donors.
Frankly, if you have a donor who gets angry because you use $20 of their donation to buy a can of formula for a baby who has not eaten in 24 hours, that person does not deserve an ounce of respect.
Secondly, I would say that we've experienced people constantly trying to scam us. Just for example, I can't tell you how many versions of the gas money story that I've heard.
And that has nothing to do with this because she was not asking for cash. She was asking for a can of baby formula. Once again, she was asking for a can of formula.
Thirdly, you don't want to be an enabler.
What, you don't want to enable that baby to eat? This is the most ridiculous part of your entire video. And I'm going to give you a little personal story. I was raised by a drug addict. My mother was literally an addict. And if it was not for people who made sure that we had some food sometimes, me and my sister would not have eaten. My mother did her own thing. I have nothing for her. Like, we haven't had a relationship. She's no longer even on this earth. But if it wasn't for people's kindness, we would not have eaten sometimes. You're looking at this in a twisted kind of way, worried about what that mother may or may not be doing. All the while, there's a baby that's literally starving.
Sometimes people need more than just a handout. They need counseling. They need therapy.
Sure, you're not wrong, but in the meantime, before you can get that person to therapy, to counseling for whatever you think may be going on, that baby's still hungry. And then the rest of his video went on to talk about how churches pull their funds together with other organizations, whatever, right? This is my thing with this whole video, right? Now, granted, her scenario was not real. She was doing a social experiment, but the people on the other end of the call, that picked up the phone in the churches, they didn't know that. So if your church gets a call tomorrow from a mother that needs baby formula and is asking you for baby formula, not asking for cash, not asking for gift cards, not asking for anything else, asking for a can of baby formula, your answer to her is going to be, well, no, we don't want to enable you. We don't know you. That is really pathetic there, Pastor, and you've got the worst video that I've seen on this entire topic.
God give you an assignment and for some reason you don't pass. Was it the teacher? Or were you not paying attention in class?